Good afternoon, my YouTube viewer. It's Crystal here. What I'm going to do in this video, this is an addendum video to lesson 3 of my course, Introduction to IT for Computer Users. And lesson 3 is operating systems and everyday software. And they talk about, in the lesson, we talk about file organization, and we also talk about installing and uninstalling a file. So in the lesson 3, I gave you a picture of my filing system on OneDrive. So I'm going to do two things in this video. I'm going to talk about file organization, and then I'm going to talk about installing and uninstalling files as well. So I'm on Windows, so you're going to click on this little icon that is a file, and you click on it, and that'll come up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click onto the little square, and that'll make it over the whole screen. So you can see that this is my filing system. Okay, so the thing that you need to know is whenever I make a video and I save it, then it automatically goes into the downloads folder. And I set up all of my videos, so I've set up all of my files, so whenever I make a video or download something, it just goes directly into the downloads folder. And then when it's in the downloads folder, I can do what I want to it. So the last video I made, which was lesson 3, operating systems and everyday software, I made that at 12:28. So now it's 12:41, so you can see I'm making another video, but I'm not going to touch it. So you come over here, and this is the home of my computer. And then so it's got a lot of folders in it, like apps, attachments, desktop, documents, Microsoft Copilot chat files, pictures, public templates. And a lot of these folders I didn't personally make, that they just came with the computer. So we come over here to desktop, and I've got a bunch of folders as well. So downloads, yeah, that's what you're looking at right now. And they've got documents, pictures, and we've got something here, folder called job search and training courses. And then you've got like this PC and OS, which is your C drive, and then your network. But I generally don't mess around with this PC. I try to keep everything in my filing system. So you come over here, we're going to click on documents. So these documents, I think that is what I showed you in the last video. So these documents are actually in my OneDrive, but my OneDrive is actually connected to my computer. So if I save something on my computer, it's actually saved onto the OneDrive. And so let's say if I go to my day job, if my day job is on Windows computer, which it is, and I want to type in my personal email address onto my Windows computer at work, then it actually will come up with my personal files at home. And I know this because I've done it before. And so it's a good little technique to have on hand, because if you're working on something, you can switch between your home computer and your work computer if you need to. And so basically this is what I've got. I've got charity stuff, charity website, custom file templates, and custom office templates. I haven't used that in a long time. That was 2025. I did something with it. I'll have to look and see what I put in it. I may actually end up at some point deleting that folder, digital products. So I made some digital products, and digital products are actually Excel spreadsheets. So I made some digital products hoping that my boyfriend could sell them on eBay, but nobody wanted to buy the digital product that I made. It was an A/B testing product in Excel, and nobody wanted to make it. We've got Excel spreadsheet. I do a lot on Excel. You've got family photos. I don't have much there. Financial stuff. Foster Wheeler, that's a company that I used to work for. HTML, CSS, JS files. That's HTML is Hypertext Management Language. CSS stands for something, and JS is JavaScript. I was studying HTML, CSS, and JS. Internship. I did a little internship with this company, and then I put the files in there. And Jazz is a friend of mine who has dyslexia, and I just made a separate file for him. So if I make any files for him, I will put them in that folder. Job search, like if I'm looking for a job, then I'll put any files that I'm looking for a job in that file. Mike's stuff, that's my boyfriend. So if I make a file for my boyfriend, then I can put it in Mike's stuff. But he's got his own OneDrive account. I made a OneDrive account for him already. So it says Python files. I program in Python. And so if I make a file in the Python programming language, then I'll put it in there. R programming, if I make a file in the R programming language, I'll put it in there. Simon Scribe's website. This was somebody who he's not my friend anymore. Basically, what happened is he had been in prison twice for fraud, and my boyfriend and I gave him the benefit of the doubt, and we were trying to help him. And I made a website for him because he said that he wanted a website, and I made a website for him in HTML and CSS and JavaScript and whatever else, I don't remember. But I made this website for him, and I asked him for this information to put on the website. But of course, he never gave me any information because he wasn't serious about it. And then it comes out that he was defrauding my friends and people at church. So he never gave me the information I needed to complete the website. I think it was in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, because the thing about JavaScript is you can write a program in JavaScript and you can view it on the browser. And so that's one of the great things about JavaScript. But I'm not an expert in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript by any stretch of the imagination. But HTML is another language that you need to know. That's Hypertext Management Language. And basically, that's websites, and the internet is written on HTML. So that's something that you also need. Training courses, any training courses that I've made, all the files go in there. VBA programs, any VBA programs that I've made, all the files go in there. So VBA is Visual Basic for applications. And basically what happens is Excel has VBA in it. And so basically, if you want to write a module in Excel, then you have to write that module in VBA. And then how you do that is you have to have the developers tab open. So you go into the options of the file menu of Excel, and you open up the developer tab, and once you click that the developer tab is up on the screen, then you can program modules in VBA. And I don't program modules in VBA that much, and the reason why is because I just wrote programs for work, and if I don't need it, I don't use it. But it's there. And so I have written programs in VBA, and so I keep the programs in the file. So if I ever need to write a program again, I've got the code in there and I can use that. And if I need to show somebody the code, I can show them. And then I've got Word documents. That's what I've done in Microsoft Word. And then I've got a bunch of other files as well. I've got some Excel and then a notebook and some PowerPoint presentations. But let's come over here for training courses, since this is a training course. So we'll look in training courses. So in training courses, we see that we've got the PowerPoint presentation that I've made this course on, being Intro to IT for Computer Users. You can see that I used it at 12:40. I modified it at 12:40 today, and now it's only 12:52. And so I've got a Word document for Intro to Computer Users. And then I wrote a training program on statistics, Explore Statistics with R. I wrote another program in Learn R the Easy Way. I wrote another training course, Statistics with Excel for Beginners, and another training course, Learn Hypothesis Testing with Python, and another training course, Statistics with Python for Beginners, and another training course, Learn Programming with Python, and another training course, Explore Statistics with Python. And so, do you know what this proves? I'm going to tell you what this proves. This proves that you can be very intelligent and still be penniless. That's the only thing that proves that you can be a very intelligent person and still be penniless. Okay, so we've gone over the filing system, and you can see that the filing system is like a little folder. And so I'm going to just make this smaller, and I'm going to close it down. And now what we're going to do is we're going to talk about installing and uninstalling files. I'm only looking at MS Store. So you've got Microsoft Store. So you've got your search engine right here, or yeah, your search right here. So we've gone into Microsoft Store. So we're going to open it. So we're going to open Microsoft Store. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click onto the little square to make it go across the whole screen, because we're on Microsoft Store. And then basically what we want to do is we want to search for an application. So I'm going to say Samsung Screen Recorder. We're going to click on Samsung Screen Recorder. So you can see this is the Samsung Screen Recorder. And so I've already installed the Samsung Screen Recorder, so I'm not going to install it again. But basically what happens is, let's just go back here. This just say Screen Recorder. Say Screen Recorder. So these are a variety of screen recorders that you can use. And then we're going to come over here to apps, because we want an application. And so these are all the screen recorders that you can use. And a lot of them are free. The one thing that I will tell you about a lot of these screen recorders is they might start out for free, but in order to get them for free, it might only record for a minute. And then so that's not going to do you any good if you're only recording for a minute. And then you're also going to have, if it's free, you're going to have ads for advertisements and things like that. So these are the screen recorders and that you can have. Okay, so it says right here, CapCut. I'm just looking through some of the screen recorders. It says screen recorder says owned. Well, obviously wasn't happy with the screen recorder because I'm not using it anymore. And says right here, Movavi Video Editor, Movie Maker. It says paid. I don't remember getting it. And I only use free products. And the reason why I use free products is because I'm on a very low income. So let's see what else we've got here. It says here, screen recorder, screen record, and screen capture. It says own. So what that means is that I downloaded the screen recorder, but obviously I wasn't happy with it. It says Microsoft Clipchamp. Okay, so it says right here, installed. So obviously that's something that has come with Microsoft, because it's installed on my computer, but I don't remember installing it. It's a video editor. So looking for some more screen recorders. Most of them, I'll be honest with you, most of them, if they're free, they may only be free for like a minute. They're definitely going to be time limits on the amount of time that you can record. So that's just something that you need to be wary of. But I've come over here, and it says right here, so you can see here, says free screen recorder. Obviously, I downloaded it, and obviously I didn't like it because I'm not using it anymore. And you can see, now what happened was I was using Xbox to record the screen. But Xbox to record the screen is very memory intensive. And then it just came to the point to where, for some reason, the file, the app, or the driver or something was down. And then whenever I tried to record the screen on Xbox, the voice was really garbly and everything like that. So I couldn't use the screen recorder on Xbox anymore. So that meant I had to try to find a screen recorder that I could use to record the screen. So I had the Screen Recorder Plus. Obviously, I downloaded it, but obviously I didn't like it. So then I came across a Samsung screen recorder. That's what I'm using now. Okay, I've been using it for a while, and I'm happy with it. And it says Screen Recorder is an app to record your PC screens on Galaxy Book. But I used it, and I'm happy with it. So let's come up to it. Samsung Screen Recorder. You know that it's installed on my computer because I've already installed it. It said Screen Recorder is an app to record your PC screen on Galaxy Book. Easily and quickly record your screen or create tutorial videos on your PC. That's exactly what I'm doing. Okay. So it comes over here, gives you a description of the screen recorder, and it gives you ratings and reviews. So it's got some good ratings. I don't have any complaints. And then it gives you a system requirements. It said, this product should work on your device. Items with a tick mean the developer system requirements. So that means it'll work on my device. Gives you some additional information. So I've already installed it on my computer, so I'm not gonna reinstall it. So that's what we got for screen recorders. Another program that I have installed on my computer is a programming language called Python. Python is a programming language. So on Python 3.12, which is on, so that means that I uninstalled it, and then I've got Python 3.13, which means that I have installed it. And the reason why is because I have use Python. I normally use something called Google Colab, and that enables me to program in Python online. But sometimes I want to program in Python. And then so the thing about Python is if you just want to install Python and not use any libraries, because the thing about computer programming languages now is they have libraries. So you install the computer programmer. You install the computer programming language, and then you have to install all the libraries that you want to use. So if you want to use Python without any libraries, then you can use Python 3.13. But if you need libraries, then you have to install the libraries as well. So although Python is on the Microsoft Store, I'm not aware of any of the libraries being on Microsoft Store. So generally, when I'm using Python, I just use it without any libraries. And then if I need libraries, then I'm going to go over to Google Colab and use Python on Google Colab. And then so Instant Python, that's installed as well. So that's a simple little program that allows you to develop and execute simple programs using the Python programming language. But I don't think it's up to date. I don't think it's got Python 3.13 on it. And the reason why is because with Python 3.13, well, Python is an old programming language developed in the 1990s. So it's over 30 years old. And so what they do to keep Python current is they keep updating it. And so I think this one, now I can uninstall Instant Python. Now I can do that. That's one thing that I can uninstall because I'm not going to use it. And I don't think it's even up to date. I don't think that it contains Python 3.13 on it. Now that I'm looking at the screen, Ruby 4.0, it's a Ruby 4.0 interpreter. So, and it's free. So if I wanted to learn Ruby, then I could install this Ruby 4.0 interpreter and start learning Ruby. You know, Ruby is another programming language. I've heard of it, but I'm not using it. So let's go Instant Python. It's installed on my computer. It says, allows you to develop and execute simple programs using the Python programming language. And I don't think it's up to date. I don't think it has Python 3.13 in it. Gives you ratings and reviews. Says there's not enough ratings to show an average rating. Okay, so it says what's new in this version. Oh, look, it says support for Python user input function updated to Python 3.13.4. So I was wrong. It really is using Python 3.13.4. So maybe I'm not going to uninstall it if it's current. It's got keyboard shortcuts and improved Windows 11 support. So that means that they have updated Instant Python. So since it's up to date, then I'm not going to uninstall it. But it says the system requirement says this product should work on your device. Items with a tick meet the developer's system requirement. So basically that's great news. But I'm not going to uninstall it since it's up to date with Python 3.13. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to close this down. And so now what we're going to do is, since we were talking about Python, we're going to come over here, and then when you click onto the search engine, then a screen is going to come up, and this screen is going to tell you lots of personal information. So you can see the apps that I have recently used, because I've recently used the Microsoft Store because we're just on that. I've recently used Setting. I've recently used File Explorer. I've recently used the snipping tool, and I've recently used PowerPoint, and so this tells you all the applications that I have recently used. And it says top apps, these are the top applications that I have used, being Media Player, which every time I make a video, I check it with Medium Player just to make sure that it's working okay. File Explorer, Screen Recorder, and Snipping Tool. So I've used all those. But what we're going to do is we're going to do search on Python. So I got Python. We've got Python idle. So that's what I have installed on my computer, being Python 3.13. And so what's really good about this other Python program that I've got is that I can open it, I can run it as an administrator, I can pin it to start, pin it to the taskbar. I've got my app settings, I've got my rate and review, I can share it, and I can uninstall it. But I'm not going to uninstall it because I like having it there. And I don't remember the name of that other program we had, but let me just check it. Python. So Instant Python. So we've got Instant Python here. It says it's installed. So Instant Python. So we're going to come back here to where it says search. So I've got Instant Python. So I've still got that on my computer. And it says open, run as administrator, pin to start, pin to taskbar, app settings, rate and review, share, and uninstall. But I'm not going to uninstall it since it's up to date with Python 3.13.4. I'm not going to install it. So that's it really. That's it really. That's what I've done is I've given you a tour of the filing system on my computer. I've given you a tour of Microsoft Store, and I've given you a selection of screen recorders. The screen recorder that I use and the screen recorder that I recommend is the Samsung screen recorder. And I've always also given you a tour of the apps on the Python programming language. Now, there are no apps on the well, the last time I looked, there were no apps on the R programming language. But if you've got a Chromebook, a Chrome store, then there's R programming language apps on the Chrome store. And I know that because I've got a Chromebook and I was studying R, and I thought, oh, well, I'll do R on my Chromebook. But then I found a way that I can program in R on Google Colab. So I've been programming R on Google Colab as well. So I'm not really using my Chromebook for much except for going on Google Meets, which I'll probably try to get onto the computer to show you how to do a Google Meet at some point in this course. So that concludes this video. The next video is going to be lesson 4, which is going to be the internet and how it works. So I hope that you got something out of this video, and I hope you watch the next video, which is going to be lesson 4. So thank you so much for watching my video, and I look forward to you watching the next one.